Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richanette LaFleur, and today's episode we're going to talk about Don't Fear the Bear Market, Build in It. The goal of a bear market isn't to get rich, it's to make sure you're still here for the next bull market. And before I start this episode, I'd like to give you guys a fair warning or a big news that's happening in the Bitcoin space. So today, there are different types of posts and document that's highlighting about CoinKite, the company that were issuing cold card, and they have got hacked Thursday night, where a lot of people that bought their device, trusted them, had lost a large amount of Bitcoin. So I advise you guys, if you have any cold card device in your home or you're utilizing it, please remove all your Bitcoin and move it to another wallet or an exchange for safety. You want to do this right now because there are still hacking devices. This is an ongoing attack where a lot of people are losing their Bitcoin. And it's sad to see people that are losing their Bitcoin because that's their hard earned saving, and somebody is taking everybody Bitcoin that are holding the cold card device. And I feel bad for those that are losing their Bitcoin at this time. So if you have a cold card, please move your Bitcoin immediately. You don't want to get caught up with this attack. So just take this and run with it. Share with anybody that you know that have a cold card. And I apologize for anyone that I have advised them to get this device because I thought it was the best cold wallet to have. But before we get deeper into this episode, want to share the current block height. Currently, right now, with the new block height, we are sitting at 960,639 block height. And currently, as we look at the chart, Bitcoin is sitting about at 62,762. So we are still in a bear market from the Bitcoin all time high. The all time high was at 126,000 around October of 2025. And we are sitting at 62,000 at current Bitcoin price. So take advantage of buying the dip while it's super cheap. Another information that I'd like to share with you guys is the Bitcoin seasonality chart. This is a good reference because it'll give you understanding on how Bitcoin has been fluctuating ever since it came into tuition and our current time as we are heading to August. August is a bear month where a lot of people may be selling their Bitcoin. There are a couple of news that are highlighting on Bitcoin Twitter. So currently, right now, Bitcoin is at negative 0.27%. So it may be a big bear market in August. So continue buying the dip, continue being aware of what's going on in the space, and just make sure that you are putting yourself in the best position to win. As I start this episode, I'm going to start with change your mindset. A bear market isn't something to fear. It's a normal part of Bitcoin cycle. Instead of seeing lower price as a loss, view them as an opportunity to accumulate more Bitcoin at a discount. The strongest Bitcoiner are built during difficult market, not easy one. And a quote that I found is bull market reward patience, bear market build conviction. To talk about my journey in Bitcoin, this is my first real bear market. As a Bitcoiner, I noticed that there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people that are fear mongering, rage baiting, and providing false information in the Bitcoin space. You're also starting to see the bad actors come out and showcase their true color. But as I follow my conviction and stick to my plan, the goal for me to constantly continue buying Bitcoin by reaching my goals, by dollar cost averaging, and just staying out of trouble. There's a lot of things going on in our world. Currently, for me, I live in the US, so we have our own problem that we are facing. But at the same time, as a Bitcoiner, just be mindful of how you are moving in the bear market. Be positive, have faith, and believe this is only temporary because every bear market, there will be a bull market. So use this time to prepare yourself for the bull market. As I continue on with this episode, I'm going to talk about keep stacking DCA. A bear market is one of the best times to accumulate Bitcoin. Instead of trying to predict the bottom, invest a fixed amount constantly, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. The lower the price, the more sats your money buy. Don't focus on the dollar value of your portfolio. Focus on increasing your portfolio holding, your Bitcoin holding over time, and constantly beat perfect timing. I believe dollar cost average is a great way to buy Bitcoin during the bear market and the bull market because you have something that's automatically buying you Bitcoin either weekly, daily, monthly, or every few hours. And it's a great time to dollar cost average on your favorite platform because you will be able to continue stacking your Bitcoin holding. You'll put yourself in a position where you don't have to time the market. You just set your fixed amount to buy at a certain time, and you constantly have more free time to focus on other things. For me, I enjoy dollar cost averaging. I am doing it with two platforms. My favorite platform right now is Strike. I enjoy buying Bitcoin off of Strike. It's one of the best platform to buy Bitcoin. There's a lot of product that's in that platform, and the person that's behind it is Jack Miller. The CEO of Strike is one of the Bitcoiners that I like to listen to and follow. So if anybody that is new to Bitcoin, I definitely would recommend to utilize Strike to buy Bitcoin, to borrow against your Bitcoin, to pay your bills, and even there are new things that are rolling in. So you have to stay tuned to Strike and the Jack Malice show. Another platform that I use is Cash App. Cash App is my favorite as of Strike because of the friendly ecosystem that they have built on these two platforms. One thing that I like about Strike and Cash App is the Lightning Network. I believe every Bitcoin application must have a Lightning Network or have access to it. If a Bitcoin exchange that's utilized doesn't have it, they are not providing you the full service or the full capability of what Bitcoin can do. So I always advocate Strike and Cash App to all new Bitcoiners because it will put you in a position to move your Bitcoin swiftly and don't have to rely on the layer one of Bitcoin as it is on chain. But the Lightning Network give you more incentive to move your Bitcoin around. And a cool Bitcoin stack tracker that I utilize on my spare time to understand when it comes to dollar cost averaging. This is a prime example that I am showcasing to you guys. So, for example, if I have at least zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, and the current price of Bitcoin is at 62,756. And when it comes to dollar cost averaging, I'm doing roughly about $100 weekly. And if Bitcoin have an annual growth rate of 15%, and with the time horizon 5 years, I suddenly see that my Bitcoin holding will increase dramatically because I am making sure that I'm holding my Bitcoin for 5 years. I will start to see that my sats amount will increase rapidly. And on top of that, as Bitcoin go up over time, the price of the amount of Bitcoin will go up in my portfolio. So it's good to utilize a Bitcoin stack tracker to understand how much money that you will be able to accumulate in the future when it comes to dollar costing average Bitcoin. While dollar costing average Bitcoin, you also want to build a cash reserve. You don't want to become forced to sell your Bitcoin. Having cash on hand help you avoid selling your Bitcoin during an emergency or market downturn. A solid emergency fund give you a peace of mind and allow you to continue stacking when others are forced to sell. Aim to save 12 months of living expense before taking on additional investment risks. The reason why I said it's good to build a cash reserve, especially during a bear market, because you want to be in a position that you are not losing your Bitcoin because you have to sell at a loss. So it's always good to keep cash on the side, even though I don't like having cash, especially with the dollar as it's losing its value. But with me living in America, I gotta have some cash in my pocket just in case of an emergency. I don't like selling my Bitcoin. I'm not ready to borrow against my Bitcoin because I'm not in a position or have the financial holding to borrow against my Bitcoin. So I have been parking my cash within high yield saving called Markets by Goldman Sachs. This is a good high yield saving for anybody that is new. I noticed with this high yield saving, I'm able to get some type of interest on the amount of money that I am saving. So I advocate this because this is what I'm using to have an emergency fund and put myself in a position where I'm able to access my cash at the right timing. So yes, even though I am a Bitcoiner, I still have to utilize the traditional system to make sure I'm able to survive and live the way I want to live. I believe in the future, once I am more up, I'll be able to have more Bitcoin than cash and be able to constantly continue buying Bitcoin where I don't have to have a large amount of cash. But currently, right now, with the way my lifestyle is, I keep some cash on the side just so I'm able to survive and help myself out in the long run. And the worst feeling when it comes to selling your Bitcoin because life happened, a key takeaway is cash give you flexibility and Bitcoin build long-term wealth. Having cash will give you the flexibility that you need and it will put you in a position to do things. But overall, Bitcoin will build long-term wealth. Even though Bitcoin is still new until this space that we are in, it will take a strong impact around the world once everybody get adopted, everyone is familiar why Bitcoin was created and how it's going to make life much easier. So continue stacking your Bitcoin, but at the same time have some cash on the side so that you are able to pay for any emergency that comes your way. The next topic is avoid debt and ignore the noise. Take on don't take on unnecessary debt or use leverage to buy Bitcoin. Borrowing money increase your risk and can force you to sell at a worst possible time. Invest only what you can afford to hold for the long term. At the same time, don't let fear driven headlines shake your conviction. Every bear market brain claims that Bitcoin is dead, but the protocol continues to operate exactly as designed. Stay focused on your long term plan, not your short term emotion. When it comes to being a Bitcoiner, especially in the bear market, you will see a lot of noise. You will see a lot of people being exposed to over leveraging their Bitcoin. So the best thing to do is to ignore all the bad actors. Don't leverage your Bitcoin because yeah, there's a new product that is out where you're able to borrow against your Bitcoin and acquire some fiat or cash. But at the end of the day, you don't want to get liquidated. And if you do get liquidated, you will lose your Bitcoin. So you have to be very mindful on how you are maneuvering through the bear market because there will be a lot of new shiny items, shiny product that will influence those to jump on a board. And then next minute, if they don't have a strong plan or a strong financial holding, they will lose everything. And when it comes to the bad actors can be any kinds of people with me listening to Bitcoin University, I follow Matthew Crater, and he had highlighted a few bad actors that's in the space. And we also have to kill our heroes. One thing with me becoming a Bitcoiner in 2024, 2025 was about the knots versus core. And you started noticing a lot of these bad actors that weren't supporting the real reason why Bitcoin has been created. So you have to be mindful who you are listening to because a lot of people have their own definition when it comes to being a Bitcoiner or living on a Bitcoin standard. But these are a few people that Matthew Crater has called out to be bad actors in the space. So you should definitely do your research on these kinds of people that are not utilizing Bitcoin the right way. The biggest name on this list is Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is the holder of MicroStrategy, where he holds a large amount of Bitcoin, but he hasn't been moving the way that we expect him to move in these previous year, where he was showcasing Bitcoin as one of the best asset. Now he's into these shit coins and making his own products to showcase how Bitcoin is not money, but we can turn it into digital credit by creating products. So those are bad actors that are leading people into the wrong direction. So just be mindful of which Bitcoiner are you listening to. And if you are interested to learn more about Bitcoin University, this is Matthew Cratter Bitcoin University YouTube channel. And I advise anybody that is new to Bitcoin to follow him because he will give you real time information of what's going on in the space. The next topic is learn more than you buy. A bear market is the best time to invest in your Bitcoin knowledge. Read books, listen to podcasts, learn about self custody, understand how the Bitcoin network works. The more you learn, the more stronger your conviction become when the price fall. One thing that I learned about Bitcoin is that I have been reading a lot more, been improving my understanding of economic and how the world that we live in has been structured this way. But before it was a lot better until we had let go of the gold standard around 1971. So we're currently living on the fiat standard, and the fiat standard is not doing any justice for us, especially for those that are living in the US and also around the world. Everybody's impacted because the US is the neutral reserve. So everybody rely on the US dollar, but at the same time, the US dollar is losing its purchasing power. So that caused everyone to not be able to utilize the dollar the best way as possible. But if you want to learn more about the information of how things are being in our world or understand more about Bitcoin and the direction where Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to, you should definitely spend time reading these different kinds of books. I listed a few that I have read: The Price of Tomorrow, The Big Print, The Modern Chain, The Invisible Shackle of the Economic Slavery. I also have a list of books, Bitcoin books that you can look into off of the Good Read. These are a list of books that are great to read. There is many books on Bitcoin. So if you want to dive into one of these books, I'll recommend to read any of these because you will gain new knowledge about Bitcoin, the reason why it was created, on people that are behind it, and how it's going to change the world. So don't get caught up with the noise. Definitely do some research on why Bitcoin was created and how it's going to change the world. But these are a list of books that you can look into and enjoy your journey as a Bitcoiner. Educate and learn new skill set, especially like large language model, aka AI, like Open Chat GPT, or you have Claude, you have Gronk. There's so much AI models that you can utilize to learn and educate yourself on gaining new skills. Another thing that I am behind is trading option. If you understand how to read the chart, trade option, you can also put yourself in position to make more money through the stock market. Before becoming a Bitcoiner, I was deep into the stock market where I invested and traded on different companies like the Mag 7. And slowly, I've been learning about option trading. Option trading give me the understanding that, hey, I can put myself in position to make money through the stock market. And now, with me being a Bitcoiner, I still utilize the stock market, but mainly to trade option, to trade and to buy more sats. And a cool thing that I believe everybody should also learn is build an open source project. Open source project has been very attractive lately because with the world that we live in, Bitcoin is an open source project. And if you're able to build an open source project, people will have more trust into you because they're able to see what's going on in the background. A closed source product or project is like a red flag because like why are you hiding away of what's going on in the background? For example, like Ledger, as they are a great cold storage device to purchase, but at the end of the day, you're not able to see what's going on in the background because it's a closed source. So learning new skill set during the bear market is very important because it will help you navigate through hard times. And once the bull market comes around, you may be in a position, hey, with me learning these new skills, I can pivot, I can advocate myself to getting a new job or putting myself in a position to build a strong business or being part of a team that's trying to reach a certain goal. And last but not least, when it comes to learn more than you buy, listen to podcasts. A few podcasts that I have shared is Jack Mallard Show, This Week in Bitcoin, Bit by Bit. These are the podcasts that I constantly listen to weekly because these are great people to listen to. They are a true Bitcoiner. I'll say every Bitcoiner is different because everybody have their own definition when it comes to Bitcoiner. But these podcasts will give you real core example of Bitcoiner and how they are living and what they are doing to where you're able to follow their same practice. And also dive deeper into the Bitcoin rabbit hole. Read Bitcoin improvement proposal, set up a Bitcoin node, set up a Bitcoin miner, do self custody with multi sig. Multi sig is going to be very important as we get more deeper into the digital world, especially with us witnessing the hack with code card as everybody device have been drained from their Bitcoin holdings. So it's sad to see that people are losing their Bitcoin when it comes to self custody. They did the right thing. They didn't do nothing wrong. They didn't treat nobody bad. But the bad actors that didn't do their part when it comes to operating their business put a lot of people in jeopardy. So you want to understand why Bitcoin exists. Your conviction will come from your knowledge. And the information and the resources that I'd like to share with you guys in turn when it comes to the podcast is the Jack Mallard Show. This is Jack Mallard. Every Monday at 6 p.m., he comes online and share his Bitcoin journey, micro macro, and what's going on in the space and how to maneuver. He also give highlight on what's going on strike. He's no longer with 21. He had backed down as a CEO, so now he's fully dedicated to strike. And Jack Mallard is a great person to listen to when it comes to being a Bitcoiner and understanding how to live in this space. This Week in Bitcoin is another great podcast that I listen to. The person's name is Chris. He is a truly Bitcoiner. He's been in the space for a long time. I found his podcast from a app that I utilize called Fountain. Fountain is a great app if you want to get into a plethora of podcasts in different languages, in different background, in different avenue. So this is how I found This Week in Bitcoin. And the last podcast that I mentioned is by Chris Johnson, Bit by Bit. For anybody that are new to Bitcoin, Chris Johnson has orange pill me to get deeper into Bitcoin by understanding the financial system that we live in, have to build self sovereignty in all aspect of your life, and being able to have more control of your freedom. If you're new to Bitcoin, I definitely recommend listening to Bit by Bit podcast. Chris Johnson's a great role model, and he will steer you into the right direction when it comes to your finance, when it comes to health, when it comes to being a better version of yourself. I also have mentioned about creating a Bitcoin node. And the way you do that, you have to buy a server. You can build your own server. But for me, I purchased a Start 9 server before the price went up. This is a great service to purchase because it will give you all the application that you need when it comes to understanding Bitcoin, when it comes to setting up a Lightning node, and also just your Bitcoin to connecting your cold storage to your server. And this is a prime example of how it look when it comes to buying a Start 9. You have different application that you're able to utilize. And it's very interesting because you become more technical as you have a server and they allow you to get more deeper into the technicality part of Bitcoin. And I mentioned about miners. So Bitcoin mining has been very attractive lately with so much Bitcoin mining companies. But now, as we are stepping into AI, a lot of these Bitcoin miners are slowly getting to hyperscaler. So I believe this is a great time to be a miner because the difficulty level is at a lower price or a lower data point, and also give a lot of the plebs and small businesses to create their own Bitcoin mining infrastructure. So if anybody that is new to mining Bitcoin, this is a great site called altairtech.io. Oh, so take some time to look at which Bitcoin miner that you'd like to purchase. The one that I have purchased to start my journey is the BitAxe. The BitAxe is very easy to utilize. You can have it at your home. You can put it near your desk, and it will help you accumulate Bitcoin. You just have to be very creative and strategic when it comes to mining Bitcoin because it's not easy like how it used to be. But this is a great website to go on if you want to buy some Bitcoin miner. And when it comes to buying the best or the efficient cold storage, there are different ones. You have Treasure Safe 7. This is a great wallet to purchase, a Bitcoin only wallet. You want to get wallet that's Bitcoin only. You don't want to get wallet that's messing with crypto because if that wallet get hacked and they notice that you have some Bitcoin and they see that the crypto project have some bugs in it, they'll take everything. So get the best wallet. Get the Bitcoin wallet only. Treasure is a great example. The one that I have been looking at lately is the Seed Signer. The Seed Signer is different from the other Bitcoin cold storage device because you have to build this out. And they are a great organization that believes in having self sovereignty and security. I heard great things about this cold storage, and they haven't had any bad incident, no hack as of yet. So this is going to be my next home for my Bitcoin. I'm going to purchase this real soon and let you guys know how my experience is. And when it comes to multi-sig, there are different multi-sigs applications. This is a great one that I'm starting to see that everybody is sharing, especially with the cold card hack. Multi-sig is the next wave now. You don't want to do single sig because if you are doing single sig, you are putting yourself in position to get hacked or lose your Bitcoin. So I am new to this Casa, but one of these days I am going to look deep into it and set up my multi sig because I have to protect my Bitcoin. It's my retirement money and it's my money that I need to reach ultimate freedom. So yes, multi-sig is the way. And there's another one that is multi-sig called On Chain. I am new to these two platforms. So once I dive deeper into it, I will give you a video of my experience about multi-sig and how multi-sig has gave me a better security where I'm able to sleep comfortably at night and don't have to look over my wallets because hackers are trying to find ways to take your Bitcoin. So please have multi-sig and dive deeper into the Bitcoin rabbit hole so that you're able to become a full-fledged Bitcoiner. And the last topic that I have for today is build your life. Don't let Bitcoin consume your life. Work on health, fitness, family, faith, business, friends. Bitcoin should support your life, not replace it. And remember why you brought Bitcoin. People buy Bitcoin for many reasons: inflation, financial freedom, property rights, self sovereignty, global money, long term saving. If those reasons haven't changed, why should your conviction change too? So, as I became a Bitcoiner, it helped me improve my life by becoming more healthier, by being more aware of how I am treating my body, making sure that I spend time with my family, and also have a mentality of building a family once that time comes, and increasing my faith with God, believing that God put me on this earth to provide good service to people that need someone like me to give them information on how to strategize during a bear market and grow their wealth. Another thing that have improved my life when it comes to being a Bitcoiner, just finding ways to increase my cash flow, lower the amount of money that I'm spending, and spend more time with friends. With us living on this earth, God designed us to be prosperous. So you have to make sure that you are working on yourself daily, being a role model for the next person. There are not a lot of great people that will show you great example how to live your life, but there are those that are very key to this world that we live in. So try your best to follow the right influencer, become a light to your community and around the world, and just be positive. There's a lot of negativity that's going on, especially with today's time as a Bitcoiner or just as a human being overall. So just be mindful how things are going. Put God first because God will direct us in every situation that we face. And as a Bitcoiner, you got to have strong conviction. There's a lot of benefit when it comes to being a Bitcoiner, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that's trying to slow you down when it comes to being a Bitcoiner. So always remember your reason why you jump into this space and where you're trying to go next. And before I end this episode, just wanted to share a couple of more resources when it comes to build your life. And these are key channels that I listen to. I listen to Dr. Bobby Price. This is a great person to listen to. He's a plant based doctor that will give you the ways of how to take care of your body, how to understand what is healthy, what is not healthy, making sure that you are taking care of your mental, your spiritual, and your mental, spiritual, and your physical, because those are very important when it comes to living life on this earth. So check out Dr. Bobby Price. He is someone that gave me a different mindset of being more healthier, living a holistic lifestyle, and just being aware of how these big corporations is corrupting our food and having to make sure that we rely on them, especially when it comes to the doctor. But we are strong people that God have created, so we have to take advantage of the information that we have currently right now from people that are being a great role model and example. Another person that I listen to when it comes to my fitness is Sober Fitness. This is a great YouTube channel to follow because he will give you the incentive, the information on how to develop a great physique, what to do when it comes to building a lifestyle as someone that's in the gym or taking their fitness very serious. So take some time to watch his shorts, watch his video. He inspired me to continue working out a lot harder and being able to do more full body workouts because I want to have a great physique as I get older and making sure that my body is strong when it comes time to have a family that I'm able to be moving with my little children's and taking them out to different places and traveling. And the last resource that I always recommend is Retail Trader, aka Diamond Dave. This is a great brother to listen to. He will give you insight on how to understand this world that we live in an economic standpoint. He teach you about the market when it comes to trading option and also just giving you advice how to stay ahead of the curve. The world is changing daily, so you have to be mindful of the system that we are in. And we are in economic warfare in all avenues of our life, especially for those that don't come from a wealthy background. And with me being a Bitcoiner, I seek financial freedom and I have to fight economic warfare every single day because there's somebody that's trying to put me in a position that they don't want me to exceed, but that's not going to happen because God have a plan for me to succeed in life and I will succeed because I have a purpose. So these are a couple of resources, a couple of YouTube channel that I recommend for anybody that is new, that's looking to listen to somebody that will inspire them when it comes to their health and when it comes to their economic level. And the last thing is this post with Chris Johnson. He shared his reflection when it comes to being a Bitcoiner. A few years ago, I put 99% of my liquid wealth into Bitcoin. Stopped watching my portfolio, started investing more into other areas of my life: God, health, family, sleep, learning, leisure, and etc. Bitcoin free up my time and grow my wealth so I can get to what matters the most. And that's what I love about Bitcoin. Bitcoin give you a different mindset. It help you tap into your inner being and how can you grow to be a better version of yourself. And also just helping you live the life that God bless us to live. With the way the system is now, it's very evil. Doesn't make sense why we have to live like this. But as a Bitcoiner, it sets you free from a lot of things. You don't even have to be a Bitcoiner. You could just have a great amount of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will set you free, will put you in a position to enjoy life and not having to follow the system or follow the matrix. The goal for all of us is to build self sovereignty in all levels of our life because you don't want nobody to control your freedom, control your data, or control your time. So be mindful of how you are moving, especially in our current time. So thank you for everybody for tuning in to this episode. Just wanted to share this last piece. If anybody is new to Bitcoin, I have a playlist in my YouTube channel called Thank God for Bitcoin. This is showcasing all the videos that I have watched during my journey into Bitcoin with documentaries, with interviews, with technical pieces on how to set up a node, how to set up self custody when it comes to multi sig, and just different great people in the space that I have shared earlier throughout this episode. So if you're new to Bitcoin, please go on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist called Thank God for Bitcoin. And if you're new and need somebody to talk to about your journey about Bitcoin, I am here. Please leave a comment. And also, if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, please leave in a comment as well. Thank you for everybody for tuning in to my latest episode. And I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please be safe. Take care of your mental. We are in a new month, August 1st. So utilize this day to write out your goals, go for a run and get some sun, spend time with your family, and become a better version of yourself. Thank you. And I hope you have a blessed day.